So this is my natural makeup look in just natural light. It's kind of gray and gloomy here in Oregon today, but earlier while I was applying everything, I did have my ring light on, and this is just with the ring light off. So going back to my ex-husband's and I's story. So we got married, but what happened was we were all living in San Diego, and my husband had his children, all his children, his grandchildren living in San Diego, and me personally, out of my 3 daughters, I had 2 of them living in San Diego, and my youngest was back on the island, and she was coming out that summer. So we decided, I decided I don't want all the children to be present at our wedding, and my youngest, not being present, and we didn't want to wait. So my ex-husband and I, we wanted to get married as soon as we could, but my youngest daughter wasn't coming out for the summer until like a couple of months later. So what I asked my husband, what if we could just get married, him and I, have my mom as a witness in court, and we just keep it a secret between him, my mom, and I, and not tell any of the children, and then plan a second wedding for when my youngest daughter came out and all our children could be present. So that's what ended up happening. My husband and I got married in court. It was just me and him, and my mom was our witness. And then we didn't tell anyone. We kept it a secret for 1 whole month. And then my youngest daughter came out, and we had all our children in one state. So when my youngest daughter came out and we had all our children present, we had a wedding ceremony, and everyone thought that was our actual first wedding, but we had already been married a month before, and nobody knew. So everyone found out at the same time. Everyone, all our children found out at the same time, and everyone was present to celebrate it with my husband and I. So we had a second wedding ceremony, and no one knew we had already had a first wedding ceremony. And we had it at a park. I had a $3,000 budget, and I planned everything for that wedding, and it just turned out so beautiful. And just having all our children there and our family, that was so special. So yes, my ex-husband and I were married twice, and it was really for the specific reason, for our child, for everything to be equal, and for us to share that moment with all our children at one time. So we were married we met in 2010, we got married in 2014, and then we ended up separating in 2017. And it was really a choice on my end. I do have to say, I don't know, my husband, he was just like an asshole, I loved him so much. I still love him a lot, and I was really, I was a trad wife, that term called I was a traditional wife, and it's not a role that I played. It was really, truly something that I believed in. That's who I was, a traditional wife, and it was who I was, who I really was as a person. And what I mean by that is, like, in our home, he did not lift a finger. Like, I cooked, I cleaned, I unbuttoned all his work uniforms so that in the morning when he got up, he just had to pull it off the hanger. I laid out his socks, his boxers. I brought food to him. I took the plate away. I washed dishes. He didn't even have to throw the trash, not once. And not once did I ever say, "Stop leaving the toilet lid up." Not once. My ex-husband, I truly did treat him. He was my king in our home and just in my life in general. My husband was king, and I treated him that way. I waited hand and foot on him, and I don't care. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every second of it because that's what I want it to be. That is what I want it to do, and he was good also. Like he was so good with my grandchildren, with my family, with my children. He was a good person. I learned so much from him. Like I don't drive on the freeways in San Diego. It's crazy. The freeways in California, they're crazy, but he taught me how to get from A to B, A to Z by driving on the inside roads. He just My husband was my protector. He was my protector. He was my man. And but you know what? He was an asshole. I mean, he was an asshole. Like I loved him so much, but he was just, there was a year of just these constant like accusations of like just me being unfaithful, and at some point I didn't want to deal with it anymore, and I decided, I don't want this. I don't want to deal with this anymore because I just constantly having to defend myself, and just constantly having to profess my love. It's just like it took its toll, and I just didn't want to deal. We separated, and then I moved to Oregon, and I got a job, and I got life insurance. I have my three daughters as my beneficiaries, and I also have my ex-husband as my beneficiary. I love him still to this day. I asked for a divorce, and he gave it to me, and I didn't fight him for anything in regards to that divorce. Whatever he offered, I accepted it. I didn't fight him at all. I just really I just wanted to approach that just in a very positive approach. I just didn't want any negative vibes, and I wanted to walk away and leave that marriage with no one ever being able to say anything bad about me. Honestly, there was something when I made that decision that I didn't want, that I wasn't going to fight him in regards to anything in regards to our marriage. And you do have to think that we were married in California, where it is a 50-50 state. I didn't fight him for his pension, for anything, not one single thing. I told and we did it through a mediator, and I just told the mediator, I'm not going to ask for anything, just whatever the law allows for me, that's what I'm going to go for. And so my husband, he counter offered an offer, and I just said, okay, yeah, I'll take it. And there was really something, just there is this, I can't explain that feeling when he was really, even my ex-husband specifically said, I really appreciate what you're doing. I really appreciate that you're not fighting me or asking for anything other than what I want to offer you. And if there's anything you ever need, just, you can always reach out to me. And there's this feeling, honestly, I can't describe it. It's like, it's such a good feeling that I had in regards to our divorce. In regards to me, myself, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like an honorable feeling or something, like just knowing that you did good, that you did good towards this other person. And it's not for everyone, but it was what I chose.